Discussing movies like Housefull comes down to whether we have a common framework of funny. When it comes to folks who enjoy these movies and those who understandably reject them, it's often chalked up to what your sense of humor is and isn't. And within that, we often confuse pitch and genre with quality. I have no issue with the pitch of these movies. The loudness, the charming tackiness, the choreographed chaos, the outlandish gags, the cartoonish characters, the winks and nudges. I want to laugh. Have you noticed the world recently? We all want to laugh. But as we've seen countless times before in greats like Hera Pheri and Welcome, or more recently, last year's Madgaon Express, there's a craft to nailing this pitch. It takes an immense amount of artistry, effort, writing, and above all, intent to land the laugh-a-minute insanity. But at their laziest, as we see in films like this, what we often get is merely stuffing the frame with as large a cast as humanly possible in the hopes that something, some moment will emerge. A contorted facial expression here, a funky sound effect there, getting kicked in the nuts here, getting into a slap fight with a monkey there. At its best, it's the comedy of chaos and collision, errors and mishaps. At its laziest, it's the comedy of just about getting away with it. Housefull 5, from director Tarun Mansukhani alongside writers Farhad Samji and Sajid Nadiadwala, combines a madcap comedy with a whodunit murder mystery. It's a conceptually great idea which invites many possibilities. But the only real potent mystery here is how on God's earth did they think a punishing, bladder-bursting 3-hour runtime is justifiable? It means that even if there are moments you enjoy, you still walk out depleted. The only thing truly impressive here is the film's stubborn refusal to end. After a point, it feels like an uncomfortable roller coaster ride which you can't wait to get off of. The plot, not that it matters, follows a killer on a cruise. Ranjit Dobriyal, the UK's richest person who has a fortune of £69 billion, has passed away of natural causes. In his will, he says his fortune is not to be left to his son Dev, played by Fardeen Khan here, operating with the intensity of a ruptured blood vessel. No, Ranjit's fortune is to be left to his son Jolly, who no one's ever heard of. The next day, not one but 3 figures appear claiming to be Jolly, played by Akshay Kumar, Abhishek Bachchan and Riteish Deshmukh, along with their apparent wives, played by Nargis Fakhri, Jacqueline Fernandez and Sonam Bajwa. It doesn't matter who claims to be married to who, they keep mixing and matching through the film anyway. As Ranjit's family and employees start to investigate which of the 3 is the real deal, murders happen and the bodies start piling up. Everyone has a motive, everyone's shady. Except the only thing truly being murdered here is your time. Along the way, Housefull 5A rips off plot beats and sequences from everything from The Hangover to The Other Guys. I say 5A because in an interesting though pointless gimmick, they've released 2 versions of the film, version A and version B. The killer is different in each. But after 3 grueling hours where the laughs are rare but the yawns are plenty, any sense of suspense or intrigue about the killer's identity is next to nothing. The few gags and moments that do land, like a funny subplot of Akshay Kumar's ongoing beef with a parrot, could be summed up in one of those 8-minute funniest scenes videos on YouTube. Speaking of parrots, there's multiple sequences of the gang beating the crap out of CGI animals in this film. PETA would have a field day with this. Beyond that, the majority of the film is devoted to gags like making a woman bend over so the men can ogle at her, or the same woman's dress later getting caught in a lift causing it to ride up so the men can ogle at her, or the numerous attempts through the film to look up her skirt, or having the camera patiently, creepily pan over the bodies of the 3 female leads as they try and squeeze through an air vent. Much wow. Elsewhere, the dubbing is on its own trip entirely. It could be a drinking game. Take a shot every time the words heard don't match up to the mouth movements of the actor. You'll be trashed within 25 minutes. Not to mention the random songs that are randomly flung in randomly. Akshay Kumar seems to get the best lines and moments here and is in fine form, not that it matters. Riteish Deshmukh continues to fit into these worlds with ease, but it's Abhishek Bachchan who feels sorely out of place and struggles to feel at home in this world of twangs and toying sound effects. Too often he seems to just melt into the background. Sanjay, Dutt and Shroff bring a fun energy as British police officers named Bhidu and Baba, but it's a gag that deserves a better film. It also doesn't help that the 2 get a great introduction sequence at the interval point, except they've already been introduced 15 minutes earlier in a lengthy, pointless car chase scene. Housefull 5 then ends on a note of tragedy. As the credits roll, we get a 3-minute blooper reel. Those 3 minutes are instantly more enjoyable and fun than the 3 hours that came before. There is clear comedic talent. We laugh watching the cast erupt into laughter. For a few precious moments, joy is felt. If only more of that energy made it into the final film. You can watch Housefull 5A in theatres now. For more reviews like this one, subscribe to The Hollywood Reporter India.